A new movie released this weekend titled Thor, Love and Thunder. The movie is about a god killer called Gore. Gore, the god butcher, has a daughter named Love. They struggle in a barren desert. They pray to their god Rapu, but Rapu did not heed to their prayers. Love dies, leaving Gore heartbroken. Gore then takes god-killing necrosword and confronts Rapu. Rapu is not amused by Gore. He dismisses his plight and tries to strangle him. Gore takes his god-killing sword and kills Rapu with it and vows to kill all gods. This movie offers us a glimpse into Norse mythology that dominated Scandinavia before its Christianization. It shows us how paganism works. You pray to your God with a request. If that God does not heed your request, you kill that God. When God called Abraham and told him, Abraham, offer your son Isaac to me, Abraham, suppressing all his pain, went on to obey God's commandment. Abraham did not take a sword to kill God. In the movie Ten Commandments, God asks Moses to leave everything in Egypt and follow him. Moses becomes a servant to God and to his people. One day, God tried to kill Moses' son for not getting circumcision. Moses did not take a sword to kill God. He rushed to do what God demanded from him. From 10 Commandments to Thor, we have come a long way. Our thinking radically changed. We are not like Abraham, who unconditionally became a servant of God. We are not like Moses, who unconditionally followed God's commandments. We have become more like Gore in Thor. If God does not fulfill our desires, we are ready to wield our necroswords and kill God from our lives. No wonder atheism is increasing in our world today. Sadly, this pagan thinking also infiltrated into Christian churches. We have people who say, I can no longer serve God because God did not fulfill my desire. I stopped believing in God after my spouse left me. I stopped believing in Jesus after I lost my job. I stopped believing in Jesus after the death of my child. The list is endless. But the Gospel of Mark presents a servant who unconditionally follows to do the will of his master. This is not an employer-employee relationship. If your employer stops paying your salary, you can say, I can no longer work for you anymore. Many people look at God as their employer. Since God is not paying me my dues, I will leave God. But God did not call us to be his employees. He called us to be his slaves. He called us to be his servants. The closest analogy I can think of is of a commander and a soldier. Imagine you are in the Air Force working as a pilot. Your commander called you and said, go and bomb this place. How would you respond? Are you going to ask, is this mission safe? Am I coming back safely? If I don't survive this mission, what about my wife? What about my children? Now, those are legitimate questions, but you are not allowed to ask them. You must follow the orders of your commander unconditionally. There is not much talking here. There is a lot of action here. Less talk and more work. That is the Gospel of Mark. The servant of God is in full action. We see Jesus Christ as the perfect servant of God, as the perfect soldier of God. He would not second guess the mission God gave him.